Welcome, Sports Nation, to Sports DTM, the sports channel where we call sports down the middle.
Greetings, sports fans. Welcome to another episode of Sports Down the Middle. And today we're going to be looking at the English Premier League. 8 matches has gone on so far, and we just want to go quick into the scores, the reviews, some controversial decisions. We've had 8 matches, 20-something goals, and 7 of them penalties. So we just want to hear from the analysts what are their thoughts and some of the on-ball decisions, some of the results, and so on. So the match will kick off week 3, Manchester United versus Brighton. I mean, Brookie, what are your thoughts on this? A very controversial goal at the end.
Greetings, Kurt. Greetings, fellow analysts. I think this game epitomizes the entire weekend so far. The final whistle was blown, and a penalty was given after the final whistle. VAR coming in play, and rightly in terms of awarding Manchester United a penalty because the incident was actually a penalty indeed, but the referee blew the whistle before actually going back to the video assistant referee, and so that pretty much run the entire season and where it would go. Brighton put up a very good show, hit the bar about 5 times or more. Pretty much, so it was an exciting match, but you hate to see it being decided that way after the final whistle.
So you think, based on this results or based on the way Manchester United played, you think you see them struggling this season? Eddie?
Yes, we know they had an extended summer break where they went to the Europa League semi-final, lost that. But no, they didn't have a good pre-season, so they started poorly. But I think over time we'll see the best of Man U. They're just getting into the gears. They didn't play well over the weekend, definitely. It took a late, very, very late penalty, as Brookie was saying, to get the win. But I see them improving as the matches go along.
Another controversial matchup was Tottenham-Newcastle.
As a Spurs fan, it was disappointing, especially when Mourinho took off one of the best players. You know, Son. Even though I'm injured, I never want him to take him off. Make the man play.
Really?
I don't understand that.
Really?
He was playing the best on the team. He was
was
playing
playing
the best.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
He was playing the best on the team. He was the one who could have brought the team home to victory.
So
Mourinho
you're leading
take
1-0.
him
You're
off and
leading
put on
1-0.
Bergwijn. Mourinho take him off, put on Bergwijn, and then the game just go backwards after that. Come on.
You're leading
Them
1-0
start-
and a man
It doesn't
of
matter.
injury.
It doesn't
And
matter.
you don't think him even come off?
No. That's a savior. Look on the last game. This man pulled 4 goals out of nowhere. Right?
You know, so the
And
man never that was scoring a game. Because him hit the crossbar and the post couple times.
it
So no
don't
goal
matter.
never in
I
them.
don't.
And no him
So
and him
you-
not face an injury.
Mourinho should
Come on.
not have taken our son.
So you
should
prefer
have
to risk
continued.
the man's entire season
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
man military
for
career.
another 40 minutes and mess
That's
up the
even
man's
worse.
career?
Son is a soldier. This shouldn't even shake him.
Literally.
This shouldn't even shake him. Right? Allow the man make him play and finish the match.
Ricky,
All these things.
Ricky,
Bergwijn. From the man put
this is a
listen,
business, you know.
Make I say something. From the man put on Bergwijn, every ball with them get going forward, the ball just start go back to the keeper. Go back to Lloris.
Pronounce his name again?
Bergwijn.
Oh, okay.
So this
Bergwijn.
this man, I don't know where him get him from. Where him even send him back. Because it's
I'm
gonna
not-
mash up this Spurs man.
I'm not sure what's the problem here, if it is that you're a Tottenham fan or just your expectation of the team is just not on par. I cannot understand why you'd want an injured player to continue playing.
The man
I don't know
is
the
a
extent of the
soldier.
injury,
The
but
man
under normal circumstances in football or any other sport, when somebody is injured, you have to take the necessary precaution. Get him out of the game, get him
And them a
assessed,
lead.
well,
and just
They're
ensure
leading,
that
and
well,
they're leading,
you
sir.
have to protect your asset. I mean, you're saying that he's the game changer, but yet you want him kill himself. The important point is the man was injured. You can't have him a fight an injured soldier a fight battle. Get him out and get fit
Yeah.
soldiers up front.
But the
Yeah.
soldier
Simple
him
as
put
that.
on, him couldn't manage and him change the game
And
in a
no.
negative way.
No.
I could
You never put
argue
your
because
chances,
the,
sir.
the,
You never put your chances. Really? You never
the
put your
penalty.
chances. It's a soft penalty,
Well, yeah,
really.
that too.
But you can't never put
and
your
I've
chances
always-
and expect to win one look.
I
With
always
a
said
VAR.
if chances don't win games, you have to put away the chances. And if they
Exactly.
don't do that, this is what you get. So
Yeah.
with that change and the lack of putting away your goals, them fully deserve it.
So you don't have a problem with-
Ricky, you have to put away the injured players as well.
Yeah.
Yep, fair enough.
Exactly.
Know
Another exciting and controversial matchup was Crystal Palace versus Everton. Eddie, you think Everton deserved the victory here?
Well, Everton played well in the first half, extremely well in the first half. Crystal Palace came back in that game. But the handball rule again, we see where Joel Ward got 2 calls. One was overturned, the other was given as a penalty. So it was really rough on Crystal Palace at the end. They played well, but as I said, the handball rule, don't know if it's right. We saw Roy Hodgson being very upset after the final whistle. But I think the better team won in the end, despite that handball call.
And then they need
Okay.
assistance. They're the better team. Let me get in. They're the better team and them don't need assistance. So that really shouldn't. I know they're trying to be consistent, but them don't need the assistance.
That's true.
Yeah. And so it pretty much handed them. And I can't understand why Roy Hodgson would be upset.
Talk about them big number 9. I don't know who are running on this, Ray.
Yeah. I
5
appreciate it.
goals, 3 games.
So this is funny because I actually have in my fantasy team, and boy, I buy him from the first week when it was like what $7, about $7. I know everybody running and run up the price, but that's okay. Capital appreciation on my part. I love that. I can't bring myself to give him a captaincy on that FPL side. I can't. But him deserve as much accolades that he's receiving right now. Persons had said the number 9 role that he's doing now is pretty much dead. And a lot of teams need to change their strategy and not adapt that. But he's showing that there's still a place for it. He reminds me slightly of Andy Carroll in prime, but with a little bit more with a little bit more ball awareness and movement, especially with James supporting him and providing the ball and giving him opportunity to score. So it's a little better.
Well, I think a whole lot better.
Well, all right, fine.
I
did say prime.
I think we must touch on the addition in midfield of Alan and the core.
Yeah.
They added a lot of steel in the midfield, and the core English Premier proven, and he adds the box to box style to Everton. So they are strong in that central midfield era.
So we pretty much have high expectations of this Everton team for this season.
Yeah, they definitely show them caliber. They're working well together. I see the chemistry.
In our previous videos, our previous recordings, we've never featured Everton at all as one of the team we're going to finish in the top 10. So
they're getting somewhere with them.
Yeah. So Eddie, can you do a quick prediction? The number 9. How many goals do you think he will score this season? And will he be in the top 5?
Calvin Lewis. Lewin. I project probably around 15 goals thereabout. He's a streaky scorer. He started pretty well last season and fell off after the COVID. After the resumption, he fell off. He started well this season. So probably 15 goals, tops.
Okay. The next game, Leeds, Sheffield, Brookie. Another 1-0 victory. Leeds, newcomer to the Premier League. Them are playing good so far.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, even this week has been such a controversial week and an interesting week. It's a smaller team who are actually pushing out. We saw where Chelsea was up against West Brom. But in the case of Leeds has shown that they are now putting together wins. They lost out to Liverpool in the first match. through a cracker 4-3. They came back, turned it around in a 4-3 and win in their side last week. And this week, they really grinded out another win against Sheffield United, a team which finished up top in the table last season. So therefore, Leeds under coach Marcelo Bielsa is showing that they are not just a walk in the park, but they can actually eke out good wins. They are able to go non-stop attack. And I'm just happy as a Liverpool fan to have passed and gotten past Leeds because they are no joke. And I expect that they're going to give a lot of big teams trouble as the season progresses along.
I mean, Adrian, Chelsea spend a lot of money this summer. 3-3 versus West Brom with a controversial goal at the end. You don't think them waste their money? How do you feel about that game here?
Well, go back to the tapes. I said it at the start of the season, our predictions. I said Chelsea has they have spent a lot of money, but they haven't addressed two major areas. One, their goalkeeper. And by the way, I don't know why they throw away Kepa that quickly. He's not the only problem there. And their defense is a major part of their problem. They got Thiago, but we know that his best years are behind him. And they are going to have some real challenges when they beat up on the big teams, which have good attackers who can really put them under pressure. They have gotten a new keeper, Mendy, but I don't think that's still enough. He has already started shaky already. And so Chelsea is going to be under some serious pressure in the coming weeks. This is West Brom for crying out loud.
But Chelsea expectation is to outscore every other team.
Not gonna happen.
Manchester City was up against it. Leicester City. Would you say Leicester is a surprise team of this round? I mean, 5-2, the final score, amidst 3 penalties, but they outscored Manchester City. Ray.
All right. Well, this is a part of my way for how long. You see that out here? Game over. Nobody never expect that from Leicester at all against Man City. Nobody expected that. You know, persons will say there's the foul and the penalty and so forth. You take that away, and you look on 3-2. Some brilliant goals score. Some brilliant goals score.
Yeah, man. So the writing was on the wall from last season. City versus Leicester. Man City versus the Leicester City was the deciding factor of the league last season. So we should have expected that match to be a cracker, and it was 5-2 Leicester City. I mean, this was what we should have happened last season, right? City fully deserved that because Pep seems to be fading. He's fading. The first team him ever have a collect 5, right? First team is a slap him get 5.
Oh my God! Wow!
But Ricky, you know, so I'm not gonna disagree with you at all. But honestly, I put it on Vardy. The type of goal that Vardy put away. I mean, find him score 2 penalty. And they best believe nobody would have been able to stop them penalty there. Even if them see, them have all a head start, and probably wouldn't stop them penalty there. As for the flick near post, that the way the angle where it hit his foot, I still can't understand how him end up getting it over the goalie. So now a flick like that typically will roll probably through the goalkeeper legs or something of the sort, or probably beat him, squeeze between him leg and the post. But to get it over him right there, so that flick there never normal. And when I see that, I say, okay, Leicester onto something. Them onto something, and if it wasn't for him being injured, him probably got 4 goals. Because right after that, they even get a penalty. No, I can't speak of the penalty then without speaking of the mistakes made by Walker and Mendy. It seems schoolboyish when you find yourself a play somebody on the outside there. You know, one can argue that the person they needed to play closer, so the defender within the middle should have probably come a little closer over there, so as to not allow that gap. But once you find yourself on the outside there, right, and the goalkeeper advance, that creates an angle. You don't need to put your hand back on this player. Let him go ahead of you. Try don't run too close to him because you'd clip his leg, and try to come back on the other side as best as you can. don't touch the player. That happened 2 times, and you look on, actually about almost 3 times. You look on about 3 penalty. Just so 3 penalty. And you can see Pep annoyed. Pep was really annoyed with that. Because it's almost, you spend so much money to get defenders, and this is what you get out. You know?
I mean, we are here all of that.
But hold on, before you say this though, one of the persons that changed the game was the removal of Fernandinho. That allowed a lot more time on the ball, and that caused Madison to score his goal in the manner he did. Without Fernandinho, there weren't that much pressure on the ball. What you were saying now, sir?
Yeah. I mean, Ray, I hear all of that we're saying, which are good, very good points. But I just think City feeling the pressure from last season, right? Just as though we have an analyst who is missing tonight, City is feeling the pressure.
This is not another opportunity for bringing in Liverpool now. I'm
just saying, City.
No, it seems like you're not going to say that.
City feeling the pressure from last season.
Exactly where I'm going.
It's all up to even Pep. Pep has treated Kunagre as a stepchild. He now realize, boy, he need that type of reinforcement. His defenders are woeful. We all knew this from a long time. And obviously, they can't handle a certain amount of pace. And so let's start expose them for who they are. And they have pretty much looked at the rest of teams who are ahead of them who have started off very good and realized that they are chasing the pack and they're not used to being behind. They're now feeling the pressure and making silly mistakes. And yeah, it's showing up right now.